Mr. Asante, how you been, man?
Not bad, bro. Not bad. How about you?
Not too bad either. Not too bad. It's about 1 week removed from us having a show. Of course, we're doing one
Mm.
week on, 1 week off. We're here. A couple of things happening in a few days. Man, what is it again? I can't remember. What's in a few days? Oh, that's
The
right, sir.
worst day of the
Christmas,
year.
sir.
That's what it is. The
Yeah,
worst
no,
day
no,
of the
no,
year.
no. Hold on. You can't say it's the worst day of the year because it's also your birthday, sir. Is that right or am I wrong,
But
sir?
that's the reason it's the worst.
Oh, so, oh, I need to see John on cam. That's coming up, sir. I spent some funds on the PS5 Pro, and I'm still recovering, sir. Oh, there's Kate. Oh man, it's good to see you in there. Black Viking. We were having a conversation earlier today
Uh-huh.
on the good old discords like we do. But
Yes, sir.
okay, it's the final show of the year. We're gonna have a nice end of year. I think that you also had your last show this weekend with Everborn on the Gaming Circle podcast. Is that right? You guys are going to be back in January?
Indeed. Yep. Indeed. We had the last episode, had to go out strong, 4 hours and some odd minutes. It was
Oh yeah,
hilarious. Anyway.
yeah. I
But
listened to
yes, it
most
was a
of
good
it.
show.
I listened to most of it. I was there. Definitely at the end, I caught you guys. So, okay,
Oh,
for this last show, we got an easy breezy show on deck. I welcome
okay.
everyone in the chat to join us as we talk about some things that you started to talk about on Saturday, which is your top picks for 2024. But I want to take it not only in games, right? You know how we do here. We're tech, we're PC, we're handhelds. We do everything. We even do movies. Okay, we do
Mm-hmm.
everything here. It's a free for all. So I'll be asking you various questions of this past 2024K, and then we'll indulge in that, and then we'll talk about a little bit about what we're looking forward to in 2025, and that'll be kind of geared towards more PC centric. Okay, that's kind of like
Okay.
the plans that I have here. But first, okay, first than anything, and I know I've mentioned this many times on our show. Okay, PC is the gift that keeps on giving. We have, and I say that very, very funny because we have a couple of gentlemen right now in the Discord that were having issues uh, with their PC, and we were
Mm-hmm.
indulging and laughing because they were troubleshooting. Which, if any of you have indulged in PC, you know that sooner or later you're gonna have to troubleshoot, whether it's hardware related, software related, or you're trying to put mods or something like that, right? Or an update's gonna make mess something up. It's bound to happen. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the way it is. But Kay, have you seen this past week? I know you know who this is, but I hope everybody in the chat knows who this is. Maximilian Dude. I know you've
Oh
heard of
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Fighting
Yes. Absolutely
game
have. Yep.
community.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so check this out, guys. And this is one of the cool things about PC that I love. The modding scene. Okay. Marvel versus Capcom Infinite for the
Mm-hmm.
longest time, okay, was seen, oops, sorry about that, was seen as the weakest entry in the series, probably in sales and everything, right? And what killed this game was not the gameplay, because everybody in the fighting game community loves the gameplay, but the graphics, dude, just the way that the characters look, the art style that they went with. Okay, what would I tell you if Maximilian put together a team to upgrade this game and get it looking more like Marvel, Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3, and now it's breathed a new, like, this new air into this game, this new life that people are hyped up
So
for versus
So
versus Capcom
let me
Infinite.
ask first and foremost, is the footage we're seeing now the footage of the original trailer?
This is nope. This is the update. So you see, this is how it looked
Okay,
before. Boom,
okay,
redesign. Look at this. They made it
okay.
more stylized in the Marvel versus Capcom 3 look. As you can see, this is
Mm-hmm.
the base game that
Mm-hmm.
they tried to go with the MCU look. Real life
Mm-hmm.
characters, because the MCU is the biggest thing when this game came out. And yeah, real Capcom fighting fans were like, "Nah, fam, we ain't feeling that." Look at this. Look at Dante. Look at the difference. Look at this. Okay,
Yeah.
stylized, looking good. Okay, I know that you appreciate the storylines in these games, but not really to get sweaty in the matches. But Kay, this is big for the fighting game community. This was a game that was dead. Okay, nobody wants to play it.
Absolutely. To be honest with you, like my experience with the fighting games, I'm a fan that has let I put my gloves down, is what I'm saying. Basically, I've
it gave Venom a colorware from the animated series.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I used to be the biggest fan of fighting games. I still think that it's sad that fighting games aren't at the level they used to be. Like, of course, when we're talking old school fighting games, you always have to ask, what is your fighting game, right? Some people are Mortal Kombat, some are Tekken, some are Street Fighter. I tended to be a Mortal Kombat guy. It's actually funny you mentioned this. I actually I bought recently, because of the winter sale going on Steam. I have corrected my purchases and finally bought Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 on Steam. Very nice. I've been playing them and really been enjoying them. So no, I think this is great, man. I think this is awesome. Now, has Capcom said anything about this? Are they cool with this? Well, what's the word, the official word?
Here's the deal. And it's interesting that you say that here. Obviously, they're playing with fire because they're dealing with a Marvel IP as well as a Capcom IP. I think that Capcom is okay with it. And they even did audio updates. They put new songs in this thing. They went all out. I think that Capcom is okay with this as long as there is no monetization. Just like everything else. It's a mod. Let's see. Right now, this is the talk of the town in the fighting game community, obviously. Hopefully they just don't hopefully they don't do something that kind of causes them to bring this down.
Hopefully they don't fly too close to the sun, is what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah, and again, as long you see, and look how they're advertising it as free, because Maximilian came out right in the beginning of the project and he said, we're not looking to make money off of this. Right off the bat, we're letting you know this is a labor of love. And you know what, Kay? I believe him. I believe him and the team that they're working on. You know, Maximilian has dedicated his channel to the fighting game community, to fighting games. This dude loves fighting games. That's his genre. I believe that this was a labor of love. And you know what? Go out there, guys. Support this. Download it. And I already downloaded just because of the scare. We kind of see how Nintendo's rolling nowadays. Anything that's cool and above approach of that they released, they're like, nah, that's too good. We got to take that down because we didn't make that. You know what I'm saying, Kay? You know how it is.
Yeah. So, we always got to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, man. So that's the thing, right? And to kind of piggyback with what we kind of do here, dude, you know what it is that they had the opportunity to update a dead game. It was dead, Kay. Like nobody wants to play this game, and they worked on it, and now probably they have thousands of people playing this, and that's awesome for that community. I'm really happy.
Yeah. So I think it's awesome. I think it's really great that they've spent that much time doing it. I just hope that ultimately they're not like that they're not disappointed and the vendor and the publisher allows them to continue to have this game exist. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But you know what? If they see that something like this, I'm sure that Capcom is quietly standing by and they're like, listen, like we said, as long as you're not monetizing anything and our server numbers are going up playing this game and people are buying it on Steam for $7.99 and on the Steam sales or whatever, hey, we're okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because or else no one's gonna buy this game. It's a dead game.
Yep.
So yeah, Kay. So Kay, we've had a very busy 2024, man, between obviously personal life, gaming. Just so much news came out this year, Kay. Like I was making a list here of different things that we can touch upon. Dude, this year was pretty monumental when it comes to just announcements that were made. Just you went to an event this year, all the way in Germany. Crazy. You got out there to see the Xbox showcase in person. With all the big wigs, you rub shoulders with the greats. Okay, let me ask you a question. Out of 2024, I'm just gonna drop this right here. What was your favorite announcement the whole year? It could be hardware related, software related, just
that's tough.
Studio coming back. a studio closing down, a game failing, a game doing good, right off the top
I'll
of
be
your head.
honest with you.
Right off the top
I'll
of
be
your head.
honest with you. Like, yeah. So if I can tell you what my favorite thing is this year, it's not one thing exactly. It's more the idea that those old IPs or old IPs that we wanted to have come back, you know what I mean? Like we've seen a few IPs come back and be very super successful and be successful in bringing people back into that IP that they used to love, right? And it gets rekindled in a new way, that kind of thing, with new modern sensibilities. I love that is now becoming more and more a mainstay. Like that if 2024, if there's been any pluses in 2024 for me, it's the idea that, you know, between Capcom and what do you call it, Konami and all the various old school IP holders, they're all dusting off those old IPs. Sega doing it now, right? Dusting off of the old IPs, bringing them back, either giving you a remake in the way you remember it, or rekindling it in a different way to give it new modern sensibilities. You know, I really love that's where we are today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what 2025 has to bring in that direction as well.
Okay. For me, I had to think about it for a little bit because I kind of know the questions I'm going to ask you ahead of time, so I cheated. Dude, you want me to be honest with you? You know what is the peak hype for me this year when it comes to gaming? Like the one announcement that just, dude, I started just screaming and being like, yeah, and like I freaking watched the trailer like 50 times, and it's like, this is what I'm talking about, baby. That Doom.
Yeah?
That Doom trailer, man, that came out in that
really
showcase, that first game that they showed, Doom: The Dark Ages. Number one, nobody saw that coming, okay? Because I don't think that was hinted at or spoiled or rumored or anything like that. Everybody thought that it was working on what? On something else, on another game, on another IP. And when I saw that thing, let me tell you something, Kay. I've seen a lot of game trailers this year. That freaking trailer is like 3 minutes of just metal goodness. Like from the moment that guitar just rips in the beginning, and then you see Doom guy just grabbing his shotgun and his shield, and you would think, right? Oh man, we've already had 2 of these. Like they can't do anything new, anything more badass than they've already done. That mother effer is flying around, jumping around, throwing a shield with a chainsaw on it, a freaking skull shotgun just shooting, you know, these demons with skulls, with pieces of skulls. Dude, what are we doing here? Like these id Tech are just, it's pure magic. It's pure gaming bliss for me, man. Tell me that you were not hyped when you saw that, because you got to see it in person and you felt the energy.
Yes, we did. And actually, I think they eventually showed this as well, but we also got to sit in for a talk they did with a bunch of the devs that were in that June showcase that talked about, you know, the experience of it, why they made the certain decisions they did. So we sat back and heard a bunch of them, you know, swearing and talking a lot of crap about how they wanted to rip and tear. You know what I mean? It was good. It was fun.
Like the best part of the trailer for me, and Kay, I've watched this trailer like 30 times this year, or like 30 or 40 times. I'm not even exaggerating. Just when you think that the trailer is getting more and more badass, the freaking Doom guy's getting in a mech, okay? And then forget the mech, okay? Forget the mech. The dude is flying around with a freaking dragon, and then the dragon is shooting into a demon's mouth, Godzilla style. Guys, this game has to be up there on your list for 2025. I mean, it just has to be, right? So
I think so.
Okay, that got me hyped.
So. Yeah.
That got me hyped.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's a beautiful game, and if there is a 4 quadrant, and I hope you understand what I mean by that, like a game that anyone and everyone can kind of rally around. I think that's this game. You know, I have a feeling that the only thing that may betray it is probably the subject matter. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a little too hard R for some people, but by and large, I think it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. when I went to South Korea, quick story. When I went to South Korea,
Mhm.
right, and I went to one of the gaming cafes. So obviously they're really big on League of Legends over there. You know,
Mhm.
your fantasy games. So everybody's playing, and I had to be the American dude just playing Doom Eternal. And everybody's like, "What the hell is this guy playing?" And I'm there just
Mhm.
ripping and tearing and killing demons, and they're looking like, "Yeah, yeah, typical American." And I was like, "You're damn right. I'm proud of it." Okay, I'm proud of it. So, and Stilo says, "Yeah, damn, Doom looks good, Wolf." Yes, it does, man. I'm super
Mhm.
excited about that. Okay, next question for you. 2024 wrap up here. I know the
Mm.
answer, but maybe you'll shock me and maybe you'll shock everybody here.
Okay. Okay.
If I have to ask you, what is the most time you spent this year playing on any gaming device, whether it be your phone, handhelds, consoles, PC, anything? What would be the winner? And how
It,
what would be the
it's
winner between all your devices?
yeah. Let's see. It's A and B. Yeah, I would say the primary device that has been my main daily driver this year has been, of course, to no one's surprise, my One X Player X1 Mini. I play that all the time. I play it every day. And secondarily, oddly enough, you're gonna laugh at me about this. Secondarily, it's probably the PlayStation Portal. Between myself and
There you
my son,
go.
a lot of time has gone into the PlayStation Portal. It has.
Wow.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
That's
It's,
incredible.
it's because if I'm not playing it, my son is playing it. And he's like Astrobot.
Yeah.
I have said this multiple times. Astrobot has been big in my house, man. It's
Yeah.
really
No,
big in my house.
I know,
Yeah.
and you have some stuff going your way, by the way. It hasn't shipped yet, but it's
Oh,
I'm
no
keeping
worries,
an eye
man. No
on it
worries.
because you got a couple
Yeah.
of Astrobot plushies coming for the kids.
Yeah, Astrobot's
Which, you know
real
what?
big in my house, bro.
I gotta check that because it
You
was
know.
supposed to get here mid-December. I wonder what's going on with that, but okay.
Yeah.
Write a little note here to myself. So let me
Mhm.
ask you. So the One X player, okay, would be kind
Mhm.
of the winner, and then the PlayStation Portal whenever you and your son have kind of engaged with
Yep.
Astrobot. Okay, okay. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I know that
Yep.
you said that, and especially with the way that you kind of have to kind of babysit and watch the kids and stuff. Sometimes you can't sit on your PC all day and play.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can't sit in front of the TV. You have to
My
be.
my dream has always been to have that one device that, yes, it's not going to play everything like at like ultra settings, right? It's not going to play everything at the balls to the wall most ridiculous settings, but
Right.
if you want the best of the best while you're still gaming, right? And you can stream to your PlayStation, from your PlayStation, you can stream from your Xbox, and you can play natively. You can do GeForce Now. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Cool.
Like, for me, this device has been the device. Like no other devices has come close. Yes, it is not on the cheap side. Let's be clear, and this is even a deal. It's not on the cheap side, but that screen, game changer, right? The fact that it has Windows Hello, and it doesn't sound like much, but literally the phone, the device recognizes who you are and then allows you, and then opens the device up, right?
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I know that a lot of people have been complaining about Microsoft not having a UI that's capable for handheld gaming. This guy, as soon as I boot into it, it sees my face. It boots into a UI that looks like this.
Yes.
Right?
And my
Because
my 11-inch one pause
yeah.
has Windows Hello too, so you are correct. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is
You
pretty
boot into it. You don't see Windows. All you see is this UI right here, the front end UI of all the games from all the various sources, whether it be whichever app store it be, whether it be Steam or itch.io or GOG or whatever. It's all side by side. You can modify it if you don't like it. Like, honestly, it is like my one-stop shop. It's awesome. It's great. It works excellently, and it's more powerful than most other devices out there. So there you go.
Yeah.
So that's my device.
To answer your question, Tatox, so it does look, the streaming tech to the PS Portal, it's pretty much the same thing that you're gonna get on the PlayStation app if you were streaming it to your phone, right? The difference is, and Kay, you back me up in this, is that the experience that you get on the Portal, it feels like a more complete PlayStation experience because of the DualSense features of the controller. So the same DualSense
Sure.
features that you have, their ergonomics, the rumble, the triggers, all that stuff, it all comes together into a nice package. But when you're talking about the tech, the streaming tech, I believe it is the same one like you can get on your Android device if you were to
So
download the PS app.
the only, and I wouldn't say pushback, but the only addition that I'd give to that is I have noticed some differences, right? So what do I mean by that? So there's an app specifically for the Steam Deck. I think it's called the Steam Decky or whatever. I forget the name of the app, but it seems that either through API or through better optimization, that there are some apps that play more natively than others do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so like right now, you know how when we started messing around with Moonlight and all these other applications for streaming, you could tell the difference between one app that really does the job and another app that does the job, but you can definitely tell that it's not as native. You don't feel the nativeness, right? There are some apps that are able to traverse the divide and play so native you would think you're playing the PS5 like in your hands as a handheld, right? And there are a few apps beyond the Portal, because the Portal does that, no doubt. Portal's great, DualSense features, screen is great, it's all good. Yes, Decky Loader being an app that does that as well. Yes, but there are apps beyond the Portal that have also been able to give you that feel that it's so one-to-one that like if you blink you'd think that you were playing Spider-Man in your hand on a mobile device versus just streaming it.
Correct. So Tay, it really depends. This is the problem with the Portal and any streaming device, and me and Kay have talked about this before, and in fact on this show, everybody's experience is going to be different because it depends on your setup. It depends on your router. It depends on many variables that the experience is not going to be one-to-one with everybody. But if you have the right configuration of router, you're hardwired with your PlayStation, etc. 5 gigahertz connection, all that good stuff, you should get a good experience. But again, it just depends. I don't know if there's interference where you live. Some walls interfere with wireless connection. It is what it is. That's the world of streaming. So
and that's why, that's what you just described there is why streaming, in my humble opinion, will never be the primary way everyone games, because there will always be outliers out there. There'll always be people who live in old houses where the Wi-Fi doesn't traverse the walls as well. You know what I mean?
The latency, man.
Yeah, there always has to be another option for people beyond just streaming because of those things.
Yeah, the latency is a thing. Now it works fine for me, it works fine for Kate, but again, your mileage will vary. We got Dorian Gray letting me know again that I'm a pony. Hold on to that thought, Dorian. I'm gonna give you some more material to use in a couple of questions coming up here. Okay, so Kay, we got that there. For me, Kay, I want to say that the device that I spent the most time on gaming this year for me was my PC with my 4080 Super. The One X Player came to a close second place because I have almost been using that as my daily driver to work off site away from home. The ROG Ally X has gotten play only when I'm sitting on my couch, which is probably once a week. So even the One X Player has superseded the great ROG Ally X, and all of its greatness. It is what it is. It's the truth. I think that One X has done a superb job, even though that their update kind of messed up my battery here. All right, but that's whatever.
Yes, some people have been experiencing that as well. Give them a call. You might be surprised.
So it is what it is. But yeah, my PC has gotten the most use from my gaming time this year. Primarily both setups, to be honest with you. I played through Mafia. I've been playing the Umbra says I sold out. Come on, man. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I'm sorry, Kay. You had that up. I was
Oh
trying
no,
to.
no, no. You good. You good. You good. You good.
Hey, listen. If selling out is telling the truth, then shame the devil. What's this called? That's all I gotta. That's all I gotta say. So between the 4070 Super that I have and the 4080 Super, you know the setups that I have. Kay. I use
hmm
Oculink in the living room. I played through all of Mafia 2 that way. I played through all of Mafia, the definitive edition on my 4080 Super, and now I'm playing Mafia 3, which is a great game. Like Lincoln Clay is literally the Punisher. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
I'm playing that on my 4080 Super as well.
Underrated.
Dude, what a
hmm
great series Mafia is, and Mafia the old country coming out next year. You guys got to jump on Mafia if you haven't played it, especially if you play it back to back to back, and you see how the time periods change. How like you
hmm
jump from the 50s and then the 70s, the 60s, 70s, and then you're there, dude. It's beautiful. The
The
music,
remakes are amazing. The remakes are just
bro,
wildly good compared because I
bro.
played the OG Mafia, like the OG. We are a GTA clone on Abashed, and then they just swerved and created something for themselves. It's really cool.
Blood, you're killing me, man. All right. So since this has become a weekly thing, for those keeping count, my mileage on the
Uh-huh.
PS5 Pro is still at
Uh-huh.
6 hours. I'm not
Lord.
putting any more
Well,
time in this thing.
so in
Forgive
other
me,
words,
people.
what you're saying is, in other words, you should have just given me the $700 because I could have done better, made better use of it than you just did. Is what you're saying.
Listen, listen. It's here in my computer desk. I'm looking at it right here.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
when the
It's
games
beautiful to
come,
look at.
listen. When
Is it
Wolverine,
is it a
when Wolverine,
porcelain vase? Because
let me
it's
see.
just there to be
Let me
looked
see.
at.
Is it a little dusty right now? Nah, it's not dusty. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
listen, when Wolverine comes around and Death Stranding 2, come and talk to me, okay? So,
Okay. Okay. We
and
will. We will.
Umbra says your controllers cry out to me. Come on, man. All right. So okay, here's another question for you. Okay,
Mm,
and this I listened to a lot of stuff this weekend. I personally see myself upgrading to a 50 series card, maybe the 5080. I'm not going to jump in the
mm-hmm,
5090 waters.
mm-hmm.
And it's just going to be very complicated to do so for various reasons. Just for various reasons, I just
So
don't want to
you're
be
you're
broke.
ready to play. You're ready to pay three
So,
thousand dollars. What you're saying? I understand. Go ahead.
not really. And number two, it would get really complicated with my build. And I
Yeah.
don't I like my build. So this is what I want to. This is what I was going to ask you. With the
Uh-huh.
50 series coming, okay? Because just between me and you, and I hope Flood doesn't hear this. Do we really care about the AMD stuff? No. So,
Mm,
okay. So with the next
mm. The
generation of graphic
slander.
card coming, the 50
Uh-huh.
series, rumored that Jensen is gonna come out with the leather jacket, on in January, whip it out and say, "Here's the 5080. Here it comes." And then the 5090 and the 5070 and the 5060 and the 5080 Super. You know how it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
What are we? Okay, are you feeling FOMO at all, sir? I know that you have the liquid cooled 4090, which, let's be honest, Kay, has that card even been pushed? And they're already bringing out a 5090. You know how this game
But
is
that's
played.
that right there. What
What's
you
going
just said
on,
right
Kay, in
there.
your mind?
Right there. What you just said right there. Has that card even been pushed? There's no world where my 4090 is even like
What's
breaking
up,
a
Dark?
sweat in most games. Right? In most games, my 4090 is not breaking a sweat. Yes, there may be 32 gigs of VRAM on the 5090. Who knows, right? Maybe huge amounts of VRAM. Great. But my machine is not getting taxed at all. Like at all. When the time comes for me to upgrade, I will be getting an AMD CPU this time around because
Yep.
Nvidia Intel has shown themselves to be a little bit lackluster this time around.
Yep.
So when I'm upgrading, I'm not planning on upgrading and keeping the card that I'm keeping and all of that. I would be upgrading, like doing a pretty substantive upgrade. So I don't foresee myself doing that for many years to come. So like for a quick example, I had my 1080 Ti for like 7 years and before I replaced it.
What do
Right.
you
So
think of
I don't
Dutch's
expect.
comment there?
The great wandering Dutch. What's going on, good sir? He says Cyberpunk full path tracing at native 4K will tax your PC. Cyberpunk at full 4K does tax my PC, but not to a point where like I'm at the end of its capabilities, right? I actually built the PC that I'm using now specifically to play Cyberpunk Path Tracing. So like I built it, I built it with that in mind. So 64 gigs of RAM and an i9 processor and 4090 obviously and
Liquid
really
cooled.
fast. Yes, it is liquid cooled
Mm.
as is the processor. So I have two loops in one machine, and of course, I've had no issue. There have been no games that I've thrown at my machine that even made it break a sweat. So there you go. So
You
far I'm
know,
happy with it.
okay, that's this conversation is very, very interesting because the Pay Pigs Anonymous session
Mm-hmm.
has started. So just like the PS5 Pro, something that's not needed, and then I just had an itch and I went to go get it. Same thing's gonna happen with the
Mm-hmm.
50 series card. I just know it. Okay, I just know it already.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, what I can
with
tell
that
you
said, right?
definitively, what I can tell you 100%, I can tell you definitively that you will not see me buy a 5090 at launch. I'm
Okay,
good. Like
okay,
maybe a few years in, I catch the FOMO, there's a deal somewhere. Okay. But day one, especially knowing the prices that I expect it to be, because the 4090s were almost $2,000. And then they crept into $2,000 with prices be like what do you call it? Over when they mark up the prices, right? So that ended up in $2,000 territory. 5090, I suspect it will almost be $3,000, almost, right? So with markups, we're heading deep into 3K. I am not doing it. That's just ridiculous. That is a
I
whole
got you.
PC, not just one card. Forget
Listen, I
about
know what's gonna happen. Like Dorian Gray says, Jensen is gonna have a gold 5090 on a belt like the WWE and do like the spinner. Remember the John Cena spinner
it.
belt?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jensen's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be doing, and that thing's gonna be the size of like a bus, right? On his
Yep.
on his thing.
Yep.
Okay, we know what's gonna happen. The pay pigs are
And a bunch of
uniting.
pay pigs are going to be
It,
salivating. It's going to be
here it
hilarious.
is.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
gonna. They're probably gonna show off what the rumor is that people are saying and speculating, which I think is true. He's gonna show off the 5080 first because last time they did it in reverse, and then the 4080 got no love and it suffered. And plus, they tried to pull a fast one on people, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think this time they're gonna show off a 5080. Now, here's where the FOMO kicks in. Okay, this is where the FOMO kicks in. They paywall the damn DLSS update. That right
Yeah.
there
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
is how they paywall the pisser technology to get you to buy
Well,
the new hardware.
but remember though, that's not new either, right? They did that before as well, but then they eventually brought it to the older devices. So it's like if you are ready to fall for
Of course I am.
FOMO, that paywall FOMO, then
Yes.
you'll buy it. And then eventually when all the FOMO pay pigs have bought what they bought, then eventually they'll bring the technology to devices that exist. So
Of
you no
course.
longer need to buy it. So whatever, like I would be stunned if the update for DLSS does not come to a 4090. Right?
Oh
I'd be
man.
stunned. Because it is the flagship. It is the flagship of last year, right? After when the 5090 comes out. So like just like and there's a historical reference point here. They've done this already before. That's why I'm saying this. It's not to say that they paywalled it and then left it paywalled. No, they did a timed exclusive on the feature on their GPUs, and then they brought it to the older version. So
Right.
I'm just saying, if they are going to paywall again, if they are going to timed exclusive it again, I expect it to eventually come to the 4090. I'll wait for it. It's fine.
Man, let me tell you, the slander back and forth from MJ and Floodzilla is amazing in the chat right now. They are shooting shots at each other, and I'm loving it.
Bullets, baby, bullets. It's fine.
I don't know, man. This is amazing. So yeah, okay. I'm probably gonna fall for the foam. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know
Mm.
how many in our group. I think Everborn was already letting us know
Oh,
that
he's already day
5090
one.
day one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's already asking anybody who's ready to buy that 4090, get your money ready
yeah.
because he's ready
To,
to, ready to
to
sell.
recover. Yeah. What I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna do is I'm gonna move the 4080 Super to my eGPU solution, and then that
Okay.
4070 Super. Probably gonna offload it or build something for my wife or something. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but It's happening. It's happening. Jensen knows it's happening. I know it's happening. You know it's happening. The pay pigs know it's happening. It's going down. All right, Kate. So, and by the way, I think that you are doing the right thing. I think you're going to be go your 4090 for a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm not even paying attention. I'm good.
You just have to know that once that 5090 drops, you ain't special no more. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
all right. So,
bro, I've never been special.
Listen,
it's never been a matter of being special. I don't care. I'm not special. I'm not the only one with this kind of power. A lot of people have the same kind of machine, so it's all good.
I know it's hard. Like when a fighter knows that the end is coming, K, and you're like, no, I got one more fight in me, and they're telling you, bro, you're gonna look like Tyson ass cheeks out there. Don't do it. And then you go ahead and you still do it. Are you gonna be showing everybody the ass cheeks with the 4090, sir? Sir.
You live in a world where you don't have the best, and you still get up in the morning and you're still okay. I think I'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
Listen, I have the best.
You live in the world. No, you don't. You don't. But you don't.
70%.
But you don't though. No. But you don't though, because even the One X player, the mini versus the max has the same what do you call it, pixel density as the mini, and because the screen on the mini is smaller, the pixel density is higher. So technically, my mini is more pixel dense than yours. Right, so you don't have the best. It is what it is.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. Do not Mike Tyson ass cheek us when that 5090 drops. Okay, don't give us a kiss in the cheek, turn around, and then your ass cheeks are out of the air. We don't want to. We don't want to see no 4090 ass cheeks. Okay, so
hey, for real quick,
Tyson, all right, and now you're going real quick Tyson to Logan Paul.
for the folks in the chat who are still Xbox mains. I don't know if you saw. I don't know who doesn't own.
That's nobody.
I don't know who doesn't own this anymore. But if you don't own it yet, Ultimate Edition of Titanfall 2 is free on Xbox right now.
Wow, that's a great deal.
I literally just hit buy on that thing. I mean, I played it via EA Play, but it is now free to own the full game, Ultimate Edition, game plus DLC plus all the extra bells and whistles that are there. Go ahead and check it out. Free 99. Anybody can hit the buy button right now. So go check it out.
All right, Kay. So, all right, now we got that nonsense out of the way. Let's go to the next nonsense, okay? So I heard, and Dorian Gray, this is for you. You can come at me now. So, Kay, I heard you, Everborn Umbra, who I saw somewhere in the chat, and who else came on the show? And I think Lucius Augustus. The elusive one, okay? Came on the show and you guys were ranking platforms, and you gave everybody knows PC wins, okay? So that's off the table. Let's get that out of there. You literally said that Xbox had about a B plus, I think.
I would say yes. That's what I said. Yes, a B plus.
Yep. And then you said that PlayStation got what grade?
I also give PlayStation. I think I gave them also a B plus, BB plus. I think
a B or a B plus. Okay, so in your eyes, both platforms were tied.
Both. I think both platforms, and let the record show. I think both platforms had some things to be proud of this year, and some things to be that things that need growth, right? Things that need improving this year, right? Okay. And both can say that. Now, depending on the platform, that will change, right? PlayStation has different things that they need to be proud of versus Xbox, and vice versa. But I think by and large, if you really dig through it, and I appreciated what Lucius brought to the conversation, because Lucius is about that passion, right? But he was able to take himself out of his own issues out of the scenario, and see, if the barometer is people who are playing in that ecosystem and what they themselves received over the year and were they satiated, I think a lot of people would say yes. And I've spoken to a lot of people both on PlayStation and on Xbox who say yes, they had a great time this year. And only the hardcore, only those of us who were spending a lot of times digging through the crates and spending extra time paying attention to all the news stories, were the ones that saw all of those crazy news things that are going in the mix. But
Mm.
if you're just a normal gamer, you had a great time, whether it be first party or third. You had a good time. So I think
Okay.
they're both about the same level.
Okay. Can I share my results? Because
Please,
obviously I
please,
wasn't
please,
on the
please.
show. And tell me what you think about this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we had this discussion last week on Discord. So, no secret, you know who I think had a better 2024. I think PlayStation did. Give them about a B plus, Xbox about a B minus. Not that far off. Kind of like you, right there, neck and neck. It's just that the difference maker for me, okay, is the messaging. I think that's huge. And it unfortunately cast a large shadow over a wonderful 2024 for Xbox. And we all know what the messaging boo-boos are on the Xbox side. I have seen, and of course this is just the hardcore bubble, okay? But I have seen it kind of trickle also to a few casuals that I'm in contact with about gaming. The reason why I have to shave some the plus to a minus for Xbox is because on the PlayStation side, Concord happened. There's no showcase like Xbox had in June. There was no showcase in the beginning of the year. There's almost no roadmap for PlayStation other than what's coming up next year. And yet you still don't have people looking to leave the platform. They're still as excited, as engaged as ever. Games are coming out. They're playing them. They're not missing out on what is considered in the industry to be the big games. Now, a big game can be subjective to whoever you're talking to, but from an industry standpoint, we know what that means, the big games. It just doesn't skip their platform. So, because of the exodus that I have seen, that so many people have gladly said, hey, listen, you know what? We're going to move on to PC because we get to play the Xbox games anyways, but we'll migrate to PC and it is what it is, and we'll play your stuff on PC. For that, I have to say, I'm sorry, I have to knock you down lower. People are gladly leaving your platform. And on the other side, I'm not seeing that. So that's the only reason why. I also think that, there's plenty of when it comes to games, I think that both delivered games the whole year. I think that if you were on Game Pass or an Xbox gamer, you got to play a lot of great third-party games that were almost hand to hand coming out at the same time on both platforms. PlayStation does eke it out because obviously they did whatever they did with Black Myth Wukong. It went to their platform. They secured it. Whatever nasty mess or shady business they did it. It is what it is. It's how you play the game. And then as well as the games that have been on everybody's game of the year list, the majority of them were on PlayStation 100%. Unfortunately, they skipped Xbox for one reason or another because they were exclusive to the other platform or the other way around. So for that also, I have to give it to PlayStation for having just a little bit of a better grade. And that is incredible to say because in June, when Xbox had their showcase, you would think they could do no wrong. You would think, oh man, you know what? This is gonna get past this. Like this multi-platform thing doesn't matter. No, okay, it didn't happen. It just got worse and worse and worse. And then they kind of stepped on a couple of rakes, especially with the Indiana Jones thing. Look, whether people want to admit it or not, in the hardcore space, this is big news that people keep on talking about. This is not going away for them. Like they wish that people can just get past this, and they're not. So I just have to. That's the reason why, Kate. Like, if you get where I'm coming from.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I fundamentally don't see it the same way, right? And there are people like me, and then there are people like you, and there are enough people on both sides that feel that way. So yes,
Tim Dog takes galore. Damn, they killed me.
No, but you know what I'm saying? There are enough people that feel like because look, I understand what you're saying, right? I understand that because by the metric that they themselves have defined for so many years, that they were not able to succeed at. Because of that drops the marks. I get that, absolutely, I do, right? But it's like saying saying here we are in the year 2024,
Oh, our Lord.
and oh yes, our Lord, the 2024. And like Sony Music judges their success by the CDs they sell. That's what it sounds. That's what that's like, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I get it. There are a contingent of folks who love listening to their music the way they love listening to their music, but let's be honest, the primary method is not CDs, right? Just like the primary method in console is no longer physical, right? And I do accept that Microsoft is putting the cart before the horse a bit here by moving more aggressively than their counterpart, right? So it seems like they have devalued the console quicker than the other guys have. But like, make no mistake, the console, whether you like it or not, is being devalued across the board by everyone. They're all devaluing that console, right? And I know you guys don't like it. We in general don't like it, but we are a minority, right? It doesn't seem like it because everywhere you talk, everywhere you look, you get people agreeing with you. But that does not mean that we are we are not monolith. We are not the whole pie. And the whole pie, there are people who don't give a crap about half the stuff we really care about.
I think that's
right?
almost a full pie that they don't give a crap, to be honest.
Yeah. They don't. They really just don't care how we care, right? They just don't care, right? And so we it's just the transition. We're gonna have to get used to that fact. We're gonna have to get used to that idea. You know what I mean?
Sure. So here's the thing,
I do think that they both did, like, humbly, but in my humble opinion, I think that they both did pretty well. But yes,
I think so. I think so as well, and I think that they, for sure. This is what I'll say. I think that they both did enough to secure your dollars in the future, whether that's new hardware, promise of exclusives, promise of big games coming to any platform. I think that they both did what they needed to do as the business dictates. And yeah, man, it is what it is. But again, I just can't shake off just the chatter that I heard the whole year. And that's for every Concord failure that you heard, you also heard how great Astrobot is. So that counteracted that real fast, because it was literally like a week later, real fast. And this Xbox going third party thing, it's rubbed people the wrong way, Kay. It really has. And I just don't think that they're gonna be able to shake it. Probably it's gonna take a little while longer. You know what I'm saying? For people to really get over it.
See, but you know what it is? I don't think they want you to shake it. I don't think they want you to shake it. I think that if you are one of those people who really cares about that, and that really is a deciding factor, they've lost you and you've lost them, right? They are under the understanding that they've lost you, and that's okay, because there are those who don't care like you care, and they will replace them with you, or you with them. You know what I'm saying? Right? Listen, it's not a situation where eventually that fan will be brought back. If you're a hardcore fan and this was your red line, you're gone for good, and they're okay with it.
This is my favorite thing about Xbox gamers. So if you game on PC and you use the Xbox app, or you're signed up to Game Pass, or you buy a game on Steam, technically you were an Xbox gamer for that game, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But you're not in their platform like you used to be. So stop being in denial, people. Okay?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Being in denial. Stop.
No, hear me. You're
not in that platform no more.
That is not true, because you count under their monthly active users, whether you're on Steam or not. You still count on because whether or not, because remember that the reason why on PlayStation it became a big to do about the whole login thing is because PlayStation will insist that you log in, whereas on Xbox or the Microsoft game, right? You're gaming on Windows. All it does is say, hey, do you want to log in with your Microsoft account? You say yes. It takes your already existing Microsoft account that you logged into the computer with and just continues it, right? So it's never as burdensome as it is on the PlayStation side. But let's be clear. Hold on. Let me be clear. 99%, I actually think it's 100% of all the PC games that you're playing on Steam, on Xbox's games on Steam, is requiring that account be there. And that makes you part of their ecosystem, so they can count you part of MAUs. When you're playing a game on Steam and it's giving you Xbox achievements, you're part of their ecosystem.
Okay. All I know is that everybody that moves over to the PC becomes a Steam customer. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, right? That just means you're giving Steam 30% of your dollars. That's all that means. That's all that means. It means you went from being an Xbox customer that gave 100% of your money to Xbox to now being an Xbox customer that gives 70% to Xbox. That's all it means.
Right, but nobody.
That's all it means.
So, all right.
Which is fine. But still, 70% is bigger than 30, which means you are an Xbox customer still, right? Sure. I don't know why people want to feel like, oh, she hurt my feelings, so now I don't want to recognize that she got a good booty. No, she still got a good booty, bro.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean, you're not in the platform anymore like you were before.
But you are. But you are because when they count their monthly active users, yours will be one they count. So whether you like it or you don't, you are. The only time you can say you're not is if they said you have to sign up to your account and you go, no, I still want to play my Call of Duty without signing up to Microsoft. And they let you do it. Do they let you do it? No. So guess what? You're part of their ecosystem. It is what it is.
So you heard that, everyone. When you're playing the Xbox games on your PlayStation, you're a part of the Xbox ecosystem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Sea of Thieves. You think they let you play Sea of Thieves on PlayStation 5 without signing up to a Microsoft account? Right, of course they make you sign up. They do.
So remember, when you're playing any game on your PlayStation, you're playing on an Xbox, because that's what they want you to. As long as the monthly active users are the metric of success, wherever that number ticks in their favor, it counts. Yeah,
and it does on the PlayStation as well. Yes, when you are playing Lego Horizons on Steam, you're still signing up to your PlayStation account to do it. Lego. If you're playing it on Nintendo, on the Switch, you're still signing up to your PlayStation account.
So let me get this straight.
And they all count towards those monthly active users.
So let me get this straight. And by the way, we have discussions like this every day on Discord, guys. Please jump on there so that we can engage with all of you. So let me ask you guys this, and in the chat. So if PlayStation comes out now and they tell you, hey, when you play Lego Horizon, you're playing on a PlayStation, is that gonna make any sense to you?
No, but see, you're stuck on the marketing. You got to stop the dumb marketing stuff. That's dumb. That marketing. I'm not saying what you're saying. No. Hear me.
When they say this is an Xbox, is dumb.
Did you hear me? Did you hear the conversation on ILP? Right. King David even said it. Right. There are those who are high educated individuals where the marketing doesn't get you, and then there are those who need the marketing for it to get you. Right. There are many different kinds of people. They speak to many different kinds of people. Right. If you are one that needs that marketing before it gets you, I'm not hating on you. Right. But to me, that marketing is meaningless to me because it's not an Xbox. You know what they're saying. They're saying it's capable of playing Xbox games, but they got to use the flashy whiz bang language to do that. Right. It is what it is. Right. All I'm saying to you is, it's not about it's a Xbox, and I'm putting air quotes up. Y'all don't see me doing it.
It's an Xbox. Though.
What I am saying to you is, basically, you come to this show and you listen to us speak because we try to cut through the BS. The BS that we're cutting through here with it's an Xbox conversation is anywhere and everywhere that they can count a monthly active user, that is to them an Xbox. So that is what they are doing.
So then
PlayStation is doing the same thing.
Right.
Anywhere and everywhere that they can mandate, where they can mandate an active user, right? They can mandate an account of an active user. That is a mark of success for them. Is it an Xbox? Is it a PlayStation? in holistic, realistic terms, no, it's not. But they're trying to say that you're able to play your games there too, so you can make it as an extension of your Xbox ecosystem or
Right,
an
but I'm just saying,
extension of your PlayStation ecosystem.
right, but I'm just saying
That's all they're
exactly.
saying.
Right, exactly. So every box is a PlayStation, as if you can play Lego Horizon. on it.
Sure, absolutely,
Switch- so the
sure.
Switch is
If
a
that's how your brain can grok it, then go for it. Yes.
Right. I mean, that's how Xbox is putting it out there. So I'm just following their marketing beats. That's all.
And what do I tell you? I told you the first mistake you make is following marketing beats by any of them.
So I
Because
shouldn't believe
if,
anything
if,
they say.
it's not about following, it's not about believing what they say. It's about understanding what marketing is there for and who marketing is there for.
Okay. So me and you agree. That they have actively look like fools, and that is why people are
I don't agree with that at
actively-
all.
no.
I actually think that this is an Xbox marketing
actually,
campaign is
hold on.
pretty great. That's just me.
So you do agree that everything is an Xbox then?
No, I think the marketing campaign is good, but I understand the
You're
nuance that
confusing me.
marketing can do.
You're confusing
Yeah, well,
me. You're telling me-
clearly,
Okay, hold
you
on,
are
hold on.
one that gets confused by marketing. Clearly, I can understand. I can consider. I can consider
at all. I think you're confused.
I can
I think
consider
you're confused
the
because
Xbox.
because on one hand you're telling me that I'm falling for the marketing, and on another hand you're telling me that the marketing is great. So which one is it?
I can understand that Xbox is trying to capture the largest swath of the market. I can understand that they're using like populist tentpole language to grab people in, right? This is an Xbox and all that. But I can also understand that marketing is not for me. And for those that it captures, it's very good for them. Because I was talking to Deadly Headley, who came on my show. He actually even ultimately did a video essay about this topic, this exact topic, and it blew up. The dude has like 2,000, has 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. He has like ridiculous amounts of views of that video specifically. He was even called out by other people. The marketing isn't meant for you or me. If we are in that ecosystem and we know the full beats and full aspects of the various offerings that are being given, that's not for you necessarily, right? The trouble of the world we live today is that because of the internet and because of the supercomputers in our pocket, anytime anybody says anything, everyone hears the same message. It's not meant to be that way, right? When Satya Nadella starts talking, he's not talking to you, gamer. You hear it because it's all over the damn internet, but he wasn't talking to you, gamer. He was talking to you, person with deep pockets, who's sitting there buying Apple, a Microsoft stock, right? And the message he provides to that person may not be the same message that's supposed to be for you, right? But you hear it anyway. And then you get mad at the fact that, and I'm not talking about you specifically, Mr. Wolf, I'm just saying in general, that, then we get mad at the fact that they're saying things that we don't want to hear, right? But it wasn't necessarily meant for us. And the messages that aren't meant for us usually aren't calibrated to make it sound good to us. And that's why you say it sounds stupid, because that message wasn't meant for you. You are definitely a hardcore in that ecosystem. That message is for people who have no basis in that ecosystem whatsoever, right? And to them, the idea of, hey, this is an Xbox, whether it be their phone, it is an intriguing concept. And if you watched the Deadly Headley's video, he explains, because he works in marketing, he explains that it's the beginning of a conversation that Microsoft is having with their with a potential new consumer, right? And if you follow along with what they do and you click the link they say, or you go to the website they say, they start educating you and they start telling you how it is and why it is they're considering it an Xbox, because hey, on your phone you can do this, hey, on your laptop you can do that, and depending on where you are, there's a lot more capabilities you can do on that device. And that's why they're calling it, quote unquote, this is an Xbox, right? It is what it is, right? Now, the question is, are they successful? Are they successful in getting you to a place where you too believe that everywhere you have a device, it's an Xbox? Well, the devil will be in their implementation details, right? And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the idea of getting a message to consumers that aren't us. Because I've heard consumers that aren't us talk about this message and they like it. That's why I say it's a good message.
Okay. So to bookend, this question, I guess we both will kind of flip on the grade of PlayStation
Mhm.
and Xbox. And again,
Yeah.
this isn't going away. And as you can see, we just
No,
had a
absolutely.
conversation about it. So it's
Mhm.
obviously a thorn on their side because they can't shake it for now. Will they?
Mm,
I think they will. It's just going to take a little bit of time. All
mm.
right, Kay. So the next question I have for you for your 2024. Kay, what was the best game you played this year? That it could have released this year or released any other year. It doesn't matter. What is the best game that you think you played in 2024?
So when I say this, most people will not be happy with my response. I understand that because they're all part of the whole, you know, I won't call it console warring because it's not exactly that. It's not that. It's this whole idea that come on, it can't be that good, can it? True, right? It took a while. I wasn't a fan at first, but I got a chance to play it. I played through it, and now it is like to me, anyone that has heard me speak on the internet, you'll always hear me say something to the effect of, to me, Tetris is the greatest game ever made. It may not be my favorite game every year it's released, but it's the greatest game ever made. And the barometer that I use to make that determination is the idea that they could release Tetris in 2027. They could release Tetris in 2030. They released Tetris in 2023, I think it was, with Tetris Connected. And even then, it became one of the top selling games of the year that year. And this game is from the 80s. You know what I mean? It's able to reinvent itself and be unique and new over and over and over and over again, even though you yourself have played it multiple times. And to me, Balatro raises to that level where it is very unique in its systems. And I'm hoping that I'm expecting that 2, 3, 4 years from now, while we're remembering fondly some of the games of the past, this game will still be played. Or at least more in this type of genre will be made and referencing what Balatro has to offer as well. So,
Damn,
like, I can understand. Yeah, I can understand that it may not be everybody's cup of tea. You know, like this is coming from a person who literally is a hater of card games. I'm not a card game guy. I just am not. I never have been. Right. But it was the succession of Marvel Snap, because I'm a Marvel guy, and that game was very easy to get into, and for a while anyway, I was like, hey, this is a pretty fun card game, even though I'm not a card game person. And that led to me trying Balatro, and I really love that game. I think it's one of the greatest games that a lot of people probably won't play.
Okay, so if you had a vote for Game of the Year in the Game Awards, you would have definitely voted for Balatro. That would have been like your pick for Game of the Year.
I would have at least given it Indie Game of the Year. I would have
Okay.
at least done that. I would have
But to you
at least
personally,
done that.
it's the best game you played all year, Balatro.
It's the best game. Yeah, but then again, remember, mine's also from an incomplete sampling, right? I have not finished Dragon Age. I haven't even started beyond the demo. I haven't even started Metaphor, right? So it's not fair for me to pass judgment on all those others because I haven't put my time into it. And Dragon Age is picking up steam for me, right? I played the Call of Duty campaign, but I haven't put too much time into the multiplayer just yet. So for me, just based on the hours and the various devices that I've put time into, and any time I pick up a game, which game a device, which game am I playing? It tends to be Balatro. Heck, I put it on my phone before it was available on phones, so I could have it available to play whenever possible. You know what I'm saying? Like it is something that has stayed with me all year. So that's why.
Okay. So, Kay, I skipped this question. I should have asked this one before, but to something that we've had a discussion in the Discord. Does PlayStation release a game on Xbox in 2025? Yes or no?
Oh man, that's me literally putting my finger in my mouth and sticking it in the air and just picking it's 50-50 really.
What does your gut tell you?
Like my gut tells me in the short term no, but you don't know, right? So we've had a lot of conversations in the Discord. We've had a lot of debates back and forth as to what they did, what they're doing, and what they're going to do, right? I am of the school of thought, and I know that not everyone agrees with my take, and I'm fine with that. I'm of the school of thought that everyone that anytime leadership changes within an organization, it actually also changes the company, right? How drastic depends on the leader, right? But there's always a transitional period where you see the last leader's influence end and then the next leader's influence begin. And I believe that a lot of the stuff we've seen from PlayStation in the last few years has been the last holdouts of Jim Ryan, and Totoki will move like differently. How differently remains to be seen, right? So in the short term, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not in the short term, but who knows? I could be wrong. It could happen before this generation ends. It really could, right?
Okay.
Like I believe the further we go from in the future, the more likely it is going to be, because as we go along, the budgets don't get smaller, right? No one's gonna wake up one morning and say, okay, we're gonna turn into Nintendo and we're gonna keep our budgets where they are and we're just gonna let the creatives rule. They're not gonna do that. I wish they would, right? Because that would keep a lot of the status quo, but they're not doing that. Instead, they're letting the budgets balloon and all that. So as the budgets balloon, they're going to continue to seek for new audiences to be able to get money from. And that's why I say further and further away, you're going to see them have no choice but to put it on PlayStation. Put it on Xbox.
I should have been a little bit more specific, because they already are going to release MLB The Show, because of the whole MLB thing. And there's rumors of Lego Horizon, and there's rumors of Helldivers 2, right? There's been those rumors circulating, and the wishful thinking from the Xbox fans, hoping that those games do go over there. We'll see what pans out, but you're not like 100%. It doesn't sound like you're 100% convinced, but you are convinced.
I wouldn't say 100% that it will happen in the calendar year of 2025.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced of that, but I am convinced that it's only a matter of time.
Okay. And then let's switch over a little bit to Nintendo here. Okay. On Saturday, I heard Everborn tell you about the bet that we have going. A couple of us there in Discord. I think me and Lucius are gonna win this bet, but I heard they gotta release this thing with a dock, right? Okay, Asante. The bet is that the Switch 2 is a Switch 2 going to launch without a dock.
So this is what I will say. There is no world that I can see where Nintendo launches a Switch without a dock.
Yeah.
Unless because listen, it's called a Switch, right? It's called a Switch. They are very like just like we always talk about. Microsoft is very susceptible to perception, because they got their hand slapped way back in the day with the whole ballot, the browser ballot thing in the late 90s, early to late 90s. Nintendo is very cognizant of how they are perceived in the market, because they got their hand slapped with the Wii U. They are very perceptive on naming. They're very perceptive on features that they offer in their box, right? Like, there's no world where they call it a Switch 2 and the first device they release does not switch.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no world. There is no world. No world.
That's what I thought too.
I would be stunned.
Me too.
If they I understand that, they may offer Switch stands separately. Sure. That's not a problem, right? I understand that there's a world where and this is the big if the original Switch stand works with the new Switch, maybe they sell the Switch by themselves because they know you already have a dock. That's an oddity. It's a rarity. Maybe I'll see it. But there's no world that I see where they will not give you a box that has both a Switch 2 and a dock in it.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't see that.
Yeah, you're with me and Lucius there. I don't think that's.
Yes.
I don't even think that's a question. Like
I think that's nuts.
It's in the name. It will defeat the purpose, and then.
Well, and you know what? You know what though? But hold on. To be fair to those who are about that naming, right? They are also the people who release the 3DS and then take 3D away out of it, right? And then there are also the people who release the the Switch and then
Uh,
make Switch less versions of it.
right, the Switch
So,
Lite, and then it's not dock, and
but
then you can't even put it on your TV or none of that.
yeah, but to our purpose, to our point, right? They never do that first. They always release the device that is what it's supposed to be first, and
Right.
then later on they diversify and they
All
add
right.
some weird stuff to it. Yeah.
So second half of the question. This we had a little
Mhm.
bit of a disagreement too, so we'll get spicy again here. Does the Switch 2 launch with exclusive software? So, for example, let me give the listeners a sample here. What we already talked about last week. Switch 2 releases. Mario Kart is in the box. A new Mario Kart, a new Mario. That would be too much already. But let's just say in a make-believe world. Let's say some third-party games, and then like 3 first-party games, and the rest are third-party. Which how many, if any, are exclusive to the Switch 2?
Actually, I think if there's any exclusives to the Switch 2, they might be timed exclusives from third parties. Because I don't think a single Switch game, I don't think a single first party Switch game won't be playable on Switch 1.
Wow. I think you broke a lot of hearts saying that right
at
now.
At least in the short term, right? Because and this is me thinking with my business hat on, right? And I know sometimes you and I debate and we go back and forth and we have disagreements on this, right?
Of course.
Even Nintendo, who are toy bakers, right? They are the most like physical hardware selling company of all of them, right? And Sony notwithstanding, because they also have other departments that actually sell you phones and sell you TVs and things. But
These
in
people
general,
sell you a stand, bro. Sony sells you a stand.
Sure. But in general, in the gaming parlance, right, I would call Nintendo a physical device, a physical substance selling company more than the other two. The other two's transitioned to digital far earlier than Nintendo did, right? So, like, even them, I don't see a world where they don't offer you some kind of mea culpa, like some kind of. So, okay. Let me break down to the base of my argument here. Okay. When the Switch 2 is announced, it will change the game. Everyone will buy it in droves, right? Of course, the first will be the hardcore. Those of us, you, me, those of us probably listening to this podcast, right? Like you'll buy it in droves. I actually expect I'll probably buy 2, right?
Yeah.
My kids want one. 5. I want one. Yeah, MJ Dark will buy 5 day one,
Yeah,
right? Exactly, right? Exactly. So we know this, but they're also limited by supply, right? They're limited by how many of them they can make. So
True.
I expect that in the first X amount of months, X amount of years, there'll only be so many of them in the market, just by sheer volume of capability, right? Yeah, you keep that 17 FPS. That's right.
It had DLSS, baby. It's coming.
Just by sheer inability, right? Inability to make like millions, there'll only be so much available at launch, and more will be available as they go, right? And because of that, even Nintendo, the company that sells physical devices, I believe, and this is where you and I we divert here. Right. I believe that even in a world where they sell you physical devices, their priority is a software company. They sell you software, just like Nintendo does, just like PlayStation does, just like Xbox does. Because when Xbox sells you something, they sell it to you once, and now that's it. They sold it to you once, and specifically, especially with Xbox and PlayStation, more often than not, when they sell it to you, they didn't make any money. They lost money. They probably lost 10, 15, 20 bucks because after shipping it and putting it in a box and making it all shiny and everything else, and all the fees they pay to build it, it probably cost them more than it cost them to sell it to you, right? Nintendo, unlike the others, they'll go, you know what? Nah, homie, we're not giving you great tech. We're giving you just enough tech to be able to actually still make a profit, right? Yeah. So they at least will make a profit. But again, they're just selling you one device. Not everybody is MJ Dark buying 18. right?
Yeah.
So they're there to sell you software. But hold on, let me make my ultimate point.
Sure. Sorry.
My ultimate point is, at the time of that launch window, there is no possible world. I don't care what game Nintendo releases. I don't care if it's the greatest game that Nintendo users have wanted for the rest of their lives, entire lives. There is no world where they can sell a game that is exclusive to Switch 2 that would make as much money as selling it to both places. Right? They can't. They are incapable of scaling their addressable market to handle the demand. They're incapable of it because it's just not possible to make 100 million Switch 2s in a launch window. It's not possible. It happens over time, right?
Okay, so,
and because of that, if you want success, you have to hit your largest audience. And for the most part, Nintendo, unlike PlayStation and the others who really want you to move to the next gen, PlayStation's happy selling you, Nintendo is happy selling you the next Animal Crossing on the exact same place you bought the last Animal Crossing, as long as you're buying it for that 60, 70 bucks. There's no world where they release like I don't know, a Mario Kart 9, and is only on Switch 2. At least not at the launch window. 2-3 years in, sure.
Here's the variable, and this is why I think that Nintendo's a little bit different in these conversations.
Okay.
They have a select number of IPs that they probably believe they can get 1-to-1 sales with the Switch 2.
Sure.
So it's a slippery slope, right? Because on one hand, everything that you're saying makes absolute sense from a financial standpoint, because you want to sell the game to as many people as possible, and of course limiting it to one SKU is going to
and by the way, real quick,
that 100%.
Not to cut you off real quick, another reason why I'm so sure about what I'm saying is because of the rumors we've seen, because of you, Mr. Wolf. Right? You were convinced they were giving us a Super Switch. You were convinced they're just giving us the same device, right? And you were right. And because you were right, that's why I'm convinced that they will prioritize the business realities over everything else.
Yeah, and it makes logical sense, right? The only thing is that, like, because of the success of before, of like Breath of the Wild at one point was outselling the consoles of the Switch, and there were more copies sold than actual Switches sold. I think that they are going to keep. I'm not convinced it's all of them, but I'm convinced that it's at least one or two titles that are going to keep people, that they're going to keep exclusive to the Switch 2, because at the same time, with it's a balancing act with everything that you're saying making perfect sense. At the same time, they also need to incentivize people to move over and to want the new thing, right? So
but you know what though? But that's the thing though. Like, I don't think they do. Like PlayStation, Xbox, 100%. They do. They definitely do. I'm like, hey, is PlayStation and Xbox going to come together and put together a big enough bag for Epic and ask them to turn off the lights for PS4 and Xbox One Fortnite, right? Like, they need people to move over to next gen. Xbox, Nintendo, short of like getting third party support and some of their first parties finally being able to hit 60 frames again, right? I'm looking at you, Pokemon, and a few of those games that started slipping in a performance quality wise. They don't give a crap. The hardware started debilitated. Like, the year the Switch 1's hardware released, it was already obsolete. They don't need you to move to the next gen. They're okay with selling you these games that look exactly and run exactly like this forever. The problem is the gaming landscape is moving past them, right? The Witcher 4 is coming. Is there a world where there's going to be a Witcher 4 port to the standard Switch? Hell no. But maybe there'll be an impossible port to the Switch too. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why they're moving.
I get what you're saying, but think of it a little bit different, where think of Nintendo being in the same avenue as Apple with their new iPhone. Nobody needs the new iPhone. when it comes out, but they have people on board and they're able to
Sure.
sell
Well,
to
but
the
you
new.
you make a good point. Look, your Apple analogy is perfect. Apple doesn't cut off app usage from last gen the next time the next gen releases, right? By the
But
time,
hold on,
hold on. By the time your iPhone is no longer able to play that game you love, it's been 5-6 generations,
no,
and
but hold on.
you've already lost it.
But hold on. But what's the difference, though? Okay, the difference is that they'll launch the new hardware with some exclusive thing that makes the people want to say, "I want."
Yeah,
the new
no. I get it. I 100% get it.
Because here's the
But
thing, and this is why it's a slippery slope. This is why I'm saying, I think that it depends on like the game. So I'll give you an example. I can see where, let's say that they have 10 games at launch, and I think that's too little. I think they'll have more than that, but let's say 10. Let's say that 3 of the 10 are Nintendo games. Let's say that one of them is a Mario Kart, the other one is a new Mario experience built from the ground up, and the other one is Metroid, right? I think that at least from the 3, at least one of the 3 will be exclusive to the Switch 2.
Listen carefully.
To at
Listen
least
carefully.
show, and let me just say this, to at least show how much more horsepower this thing has, and also entice people to want them to eventually move over. Because the biggest problem is this: if you, and this is the problem that I think that has happened to the PS4 and the Xbox One, which, listen, I'm sure that they're happy selling them, but it's kind of a thorn on their side as well if they can't get people to upgrade. The Fortnite and Call of Duty releasing it still on the old gen, I'm sorry to say, it's holding them back from people upgrading. You see what I'm saying? So I think
But
that
see,
Nintendo's
but this is
gonna
why I
try.
keep saying you're making the bad analogy by comparing it to the Xbox and PlayStation, because those two guys, yes, they are in a similar boat, but they're not in the same boat as Nintendo. They are not. Nintendo's doing completely different things than when it comes to this specific part. This specific, the idea that Nintendo purposely chooses the level of technology they do inoculates them from these problems. And because PlayStation and Xbox push for the next gen and push for the cutting edge, which you and I love and a lot of us love, that's why they fall into the pitfalls they're falling into.
Okay,
I'm telling you,
I'm smelling
Nintendo,
a bend the knee challenge coming here. Okay, are
look,
you ready?
look. No. But you have to let me make my point. My point is this, right? You're saying basically the long and short of what you're saying is they have to have some enticing software to entice you to move to the next gen of the hardware. And
Absolutely.
let me finish. I am not disagreeing with you that is wrong, right? Where I give you pushback is historically, right? PlayStation and Xbox are the ones that have used artificial lock-in to get you to move to next gen. Nintendo's moving has always been organic. Hey, we have now waggle controls. We're the only ones that've got it. All our games now support waggle controls, and now everyone moves to it because all the games are cool and can't be played on the other side because nobody else has waggle controls but them, right? And waggle is just one example. They've done this exact thing multiple times. Remember, we had the Kinect generation. Why was that Kinect generation even around? It was an answer to the weird thing that came out of Nintendo, right? Nintendo is always known to do exactly what you're describing here, right? Entice you to move to the next generation with this cool new spangled thing that they're doing, and they're usually very successful. But because you were right in what you were saying, that they have struck gold with the Switch and they want to ride it out for just another generation, that's why it's not happening this time. And they are not ones to tread on artificial scarcity. They are ones that deal with business realities. When the time comes for them to move to next generation, their next version that's after Switch 2, yeah, it'll be completely different than anybody else because that's what they do. But this gen, I bet you that unless, like I would say 2 years in, will be the beginning of when you start seeing them breaking away. And why I say that is because the Nintendo the new 3DS, that's exactly the same thing that happened there. 2 years later, before one game, and only one game came out that could not be played on the other hardware. I think that moving forward, you're going to see the Switch 1 drop and the Switch 2 becomes just the device moving forward, meaning you won't be able to see any games be supported for the Switch 1 anymore. But from scratch, from day one, I honestly think that every single first-party game Nintendo releases, third parties may be different, but every Nintendo released title will be multi-platform, will be cross-platform between Switch 1 and 2.
That's the bet. If they bring out 2, 3 Nintendo made exclusives with the Switch 2, you firmly believe they will also be on the Switch 1. Yes. I say at least 1 or 2 of the 3 will be exclusive. Now here's my hedge. Here's my hedge. Okay. Sure.
If they release a first party game that is so performant that it clearly would run horribly on the on the Switch 1, that might change their minds. But if they developed it in a way that it could run on Switch, you know how in many instances you you'll definitely tell that they cut off last gen just because they want you to move to next gen, and it could probably run on it. Nintendo won't do that. There's no world where they see a last gen game that could run on last gen, but they cut it off because they want.
But what your gut is telling you, and for what you see the moves being, you don't think that they're going to have any. You don't think that they're going down that route. They want to sell as much as possible, which is logical.
See, look. So the only games that I can think of in Nintendo's roster that would demand that much power is your Zeldas, right? Is your Metroids, but they've already telegraphed them. In the Zelda, they've already released multiples, right? So Zelda's gonna go be in the tank. Like the next Zelda they release, the next mainline Zelda they release will be Switch 2 only. I bet that. Okay. Why? Because it's not ready for a long time, right? They've already used the same engine twice for 2 games. I bet the next time we see that game or an iteration of that franchise, it'll be deep into next gen.
Unless they do,
and by then Switch 1 is gone.
Unless they do the 60 frames Breath of the Wild repackaged version. You okay?
Excuse me. Yeah. Slight cough.
Because that's coming.
Yes, that may happen, right? Oh, excuse me. 60 frames patch may happen, but I mean like next gen.
Yeah,
next gen version.
Drink some water, Kay. So 100%. So I get what you mean, Kay. It's wanting to sell to the most people possible to make the most off your software. I get that, but I still believe that they are going to have something like a few things exclusive to that, because while I get everything that you're saying, I still think that they need to thread that fine line of making people want this thing. And I think that it's not such a good marketing offering if you say, hey, you don't need this thing, you could just play it on our old device. I don't think that goes over well. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe
I don't think it says they don't need this thing. Right? They're not saying no console, no problem, right? We shall wait and see to see what message they give you. But I think it's a fine line that they have to walk, where they have to respect the millions and millions and millions of Switch 1 owners.
Right.
While also exciting potential Switch 2 owners, right? Because remember, even when we see this device, there will be many, 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 many Switch 1 games still to come out. There'll even be people who will still be buying Switch 1s. They won't cut off development day one when Switch 2 comes out. So to the idea that you're not gonna respect both camps is folly, I suspect, right? I don't know. We shall see. I could be wrong. They may release something new that's very technology driven that can only be done by next gen. If that's the case, hey, awesome, right?
Or they're making it that way.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
No. You know what? Here's an epiphany while I was having this conversation with you. Maybe they release a game that only benefits from the use of DLSS, and as such, that's how they thread it. If
Right.
that is something that comes about, I can see that happening. But I don't think artificially. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying by artificially, right?
Yeah, I get
I don't think that they see it runnable on Switch, but they go, nope, we'll only make it run on 2.
Okay.
Right. I think that if it's gonna do that, it's probably because hey, DLSS it has to be enabled and Switch 1 can't do that, so it's only a Switch 2 exclusive. I think that's what, if we see it in the launch window, that may be why. I would be very surprised to see an artificial limited.
Okay, so we got a couple of bend the knee moments coming on Discord. And folks, these are the types of conversations that we have on a daily basis. We're passionate guys. What can we say? And we don't agree on everything, and that's just the way we roll. But we love each other. So, okay, last question I have for you for 2025,
Yes,
a
sir.
prediction, and we'll get out of here, man. And this will be it for 2024 for me and you on shows. Does GTA 6 release in 2025?
Oh my God.
Yes or no question, sir.
Holy crap. I'm going to put my foot down. No, it does not release. No.
Sir, that's the first thing we agreed on the whole day. I say no too.
Yep.
Nope.
I say no. It won't release.
Not happening.
Nope.
Rockstar
That game is it's too important to them. They have to get it just right.
and it's not only that, but they're the only ones that can get away with just making people wait. Because let's say worst case scenario, they come out and they tell you, hey, sorry, we miscalculated. It's not gonna come out till 2027. Everybody's gonna say, oh man, that sucks, and then you're all gonna buy it day one in 2027. Right or wrong, Kay?
I won't say that sucks. I will be jumping for joy. My wallet can't handle all that drama. I want more delays.
Don't say that, bro.
I'm putting it out there now. Look,
I
because of Game Pass.
Were born before GTA 5 came out. I mean, after.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
GTA 5 came out.
absolutely. No, absolutely. But listen to me. Because of Game Pass and also PlayStation Plus to a lesser degree.
You heard that, Dorian Gray? You heard what he said? PlayStation Plus. You heard that?
Look.
Who's the pony
yes,
now?
I have both of them. Because of that, my wallet is always open. I'm always I'm the guy in the movie theater ready to buy the popcorn because the movie ticket was free. That's me, right? And the more games come out this year, the more I'll be spending on popcorn, bro. I need them to chill.
Rodimus, man. Rodimus, this poor man thinks Xbox is dropping 8 AAA games next year. Come on, Rod. What are we doing here?
So I may not go as I won't go as far as Rodimus, but I will say at least 5. At least 5. Yeah. Right? Which they did this year. So listen, there you go.
I'm trying to convince Rod on the side on our DM to jump over to PC because apparently it's an Xbox. So what, A-Rod, it's the same thing, bro. I don't know if you've heard. Okay.
You need to calm down with that. Oh, we lost him. What happened? We lost the man. Oh, I hope testing 1 2 1 2. I hope you guys can hear me. I think we lost him. Wow. And he's back.
A-Rod kicked. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man, for 2024. Doing this show with me, man. It's been a great year, man. So, okay, we'll go now. They won't hear from you for the next for are they gonna hear from you for the rest of the before you're gonna appear anywhere else? Let the good folks know.
I mean, I should be. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a rest for the shows for a little while. Myself, Everborn, and Mr. Wolf. We will be back in 2025. Going to take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather, retool some of the shows and figure that out. But between now and then, you will catch me possibly guesting on a show here and there. You will catch me on, say, the Iron Lords podcast, for example, where I was on Sunday, which was really awesome. Always honored to have them, whenever they invite me on. Happy holidays, Soiltech, the great Soiltech. I hope I see you in June again this year. In 2025, I saw him in June. It was the great Soiltech. I will never forget. He was the reason why I was able to get into the Xbox Fan Fest.
He's got a PS5 Pro as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a gamer. He's a gamer.
He's
a
one
gamer.
of us, baby. Pig
Absolutely.
unanimous.
But yes, so yeah, I expect you'll catch me out and about, as it were, on these here streets. Maybe I'll stream a game from time to time and catch up with the community. You know, we'll see how the holiday season shake out. But yeah, happy holidays to all. On the 25th, I'll be under my bed, hoping nobody calls me and wishes me happy one more year around the Sunday or whatever. You know, it is what it is.
Let K Asante know. Send him a tweet. Copy him.
Nope.
How many exclusives is Nintendo gonna have, and wish him a happy birthday, okay? And tell him that my PC is a PlayStation as well. How about that? Okay, I love bothering you, Jay. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, join our Discord. It's so much fun in there. Like, we have conversations like this. We can take it. We can run the gamut. One day, we'll be talking all of a sudden about why Xbox is dying, to all of a sudden then saying that Xbox is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It depends on what day of the week it is, right, Kay? It just depends on what news is coming out, and we usually have a good chat in there with a lot of great community members that they'll open up your mind with different thoughts, man, and they'll, you know, that way
we learn from each other all the time.
Learn from each other, man, 100%. Yep. So, Kay, as for me, I'm gonna spend the holidays with the fam, just like you are, and just chill, man, and just try to recharge my batteries, because I'm tired, dude. I don't know about you, but I am really tired, and I just want to thank every single person in the chat today that you guys always pass by and hang out with us. Thank you for doing that all of 2024. Honestly, you know, we really appreciate you guys taking an hour and a half out of your day to listen to me and Kay. Like, you know, we hope to see you back in 2025. We're gonna come back bigger and better than ever. More topics, more messiness, more, you know, more battles, good battles with each other here, of disagreeing and agreeing, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's it, Kay. That's all I got, man. That's it for 2024.
That's it.
57 episodes, dude. We'll be back with 58.
Man. Absolutely. Until next week, or well, until next year. Always a pleasure, Mr. Wolf.
You too.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Later.